And for Black Friday this year, actually, what I'm working on now is we announced that the AVGN 1 and 2 Deluxe was coming out physically on PS4 and Switch, working with limited run games.
Yep. Yeah, we've been sleeping on that for a while, but decided to finally launch it for Black Friday.
So we're putting out the 1 and 2 Deluxe, the PS4 and Switch version with limited run games, but we're announcing Mike and I and MegaCat Studios have been working together on an NES AVGN game for about a year.
Like that'll play on physical NES hardware.
It'll play on physical NES. They have the technology to make it run on like PlayStation, PC, and Switch as well. So you're going to be able to play the game on a physical NES cart. You're going to be able to play it on a PC. You're going to be able to play it on your Switch and your PlayStation. We've kind of just figured out the systems, basically, of how it's going to go, how many levels, who the bosses are. We got some great concept art that I want to throw up here. The one character I'm really proud of is we have a Grim Reaper that is in the Friday the 13th Jason colors that actually when you start the fight, he flips you off. It's a cool experience.
Yeah, because Sam Beddoes is helping with that too, right?
Yeah, Sam has been working on getting the control down, basically taking the control that we built in Unity for the new game and get the look and feel of the nerd down to work on an NES.
Yeah.
It's like a titanic effort. You think that the games that we made, the AVGN games on PlayStation and Switch are retro games, but they're really not.
Well, that's kind of ironically, that's kind of the point of episode 200 for AVGN, where it's kind of like, it's actually really hard to make an NES game, and I know there's some challenges. Part 1's come out, but more things will happen.
Yeah, and he talks about that in it too. He talks about how there's limitations on the NES. As I know, he was the perfect guy to get for this role in the video because he knows all that stuff, like what an NES can do and what are the type of problems that can happen in it. But I'll leave it a little spoiler free there. But and I played the AVGN game on the physical cartridge. Work in progress right now, but it's looking pretty cool.
Yeah, I was really happy that we got to share that and play that. Developing an NES game is so different from anything that I've ever done. There's so many limitations. There's so many things you have to think about, but it should be a really fun, like, nerd experience, something completely different. We're trying, our goal wasn't just to make an NES game, it was to make a good NES game. And those are two very, as you know, having played a lot of bad NES games, you know, trying to make a good NES game is a major challenge.
I can imagine. I would never make one myself, but I can imagine.
And remember, this is an AVGN game 3, like 1 and 2 Deluxe is 1 and 2. It's kind of like a spiritual NES successor, kind of.
Yeah.
Like a spiritual sequel kind of thing.
We are thinking about a 3.
Yeah, we've had a lot of conversations about 3. We're going to get this NES one out. We're going to get it up and running.
And then figure it out.
And then we're figuring out 3. But, you know, the plans we have, like with the technology for 3, it's going to be really cool when we do make it.
Well, I guess before we move on, I want to talk about the limited run edition of 1 and 2 Deluxe.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So I have the boxes right here. I'll hold them up. For people listening to the podcast version, I'm holding up the games right now.
Yeah, I like how it looks like it looks like an NES box. It's got the seal of approval and the LJN rainbow. Yeah,
there's a reversible cover, so it looks like the Friday the 13th box art, but with James on there. And we have it for, there's no backs on these right now because they're just mocks I made. I like printed them out myself. I don't know. I like making little mocks.
Yeah. So Justin is, one thing a lot of people don't know about Justin is he's an amazing designer of physical product. Mm-hmm. He did a lot of work like doing vehicle wraps and different products like prior to working at Screenwave.
Like the the Chex boxes, were you, right? In the Chex episode?
Yeah, I did the Chex Quest box. I've done a majority of the props the last so many years.
Brutal Chex!
Me and Tiny Ninja attacking those together.